Tonight, I carry on our journey to platinum every main Assassin's Creed game. With the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood platinum being earned in the last video, that means the next game on our list is Assassin's Creed Revelations is the final game in the Ezio trilogy, and we follow a much older Ezio as he searches for a hidden library underneath the assassin's fortress of Masyaf. But even in his early 50s, we see he is still able to wipe out dozens of enemies, and of course it wouldn't be an Ezio game without him flirting with every woman in sight. With 50 trophies required for the platinum, we will need to play through and complete all main story sequences, along with obviously hunting down all collectibles in the game, and finally we must complete the Lost Archive DLC, which is easily the worst fucking DLC I have ever played in my life. Quickly, however, before we begin, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe as it helps out the channel a lot. And with all of that out of the way, let's begin. So our journey begins with Desmond still in his coma, but everyone decided to chuck him into the Animus as it was the only way to keep him alive. It's here where we speak with Clay Kazmarek, or as we know him, Subject 16. You know that other perfucker who Abstergo experimented on? Anyway, he tells us to regain our consciousness, we need to relive Ezio's remaining memories, and we soon see that Desmond's head is royally fucked, so he better start reliving these memories ASAP. This is when we jump back to Ezio now in his early 50s, and he is searching for Altair's library that is hidden underneath the keep in Masyaf. Obviously, as we arrive, we see a ton of Templars, so Ezio gets to work.
I am wary of this fight, Claudia. Not because I am tired, but because our struggle seems to move in one direction only, towards chaos. Today, I have more questions than answers.
But eventually he does get overpowered. Obviously that lasted about 10 seconds, and before they can hang Ezio, he simply breaks free, survives a massive fall, and strolls off aura forming. So, thanks to some more Animus fuckery, we were able to follow a vision of Altair and climb our way back up to the top of the castle. But as we can see, Ezio is sort of getting bored in his old age and decides to full send it off the top of the castle without knowing there was any water underneath here. This is when we encounter a nearby worker who shows us the door to the library, but we need to find 5 keys to open the door. So, as the Templars leave, we use the parachutes Da Vinci made for us in the last game to follow them, and just as their leader is leaving, we're able to make it past his guards and jump onto the back of the wagon. How the fuck is Ezio not dead yet? So, we just start to drag ourselves up the rope until we're able to board the wagon.
Yeah! Closer! Get closer! Closer!
It's here where I channel my inner Tokyo drift and start drifting this thing around to smash into the other wagons, knocking them off the path.
Two seconds later.
Stop him! Stop him!
How is he not dead? Anyway, after breaking our back in 50 places, we managed to follow the Templar and make short work of his guards. And even in his old age, Ezio still has the skills to pay the bills. And once most of his men are dead, we're able to climb the tower and confront the Templar. With no resistance at all, we're able to kill him.
Well, the old hound still has a bite.
The book you carry, where is it?
Niccolo Polo's journal. This will do you no good. Not now. We have found one of the Masyaf keys already, and are closing in on the rest.
What is in that library is not for you, not for the Templars.
You can have Altair's books, Ezio. We only want guidance. We only want directions to the location of the Grand Temple.
Grand Temple. Tell me more, now. Requiescat in pace, bastardo.
Here we get the first trophy of the video for finishing Sequence 1. Another trophy for finishing Desmond's Sequence 1. So we then write back to our sister Claudia and tell her if we find all these books, they will lead us to the keys needed to open the door, and this will allow us inside Altair's library. We then arrive in Constantinople, and this is where the remaining keys are hidden. And here we are introduced to a young man who welcomes us to the city, and after that we meet another man who gives us a very warm welcome.
Hoş geldin kardeşim. Unless the legend is a lie, you are the man I long to meet. Renowned master and mentor. Ezio Auditore de la.
Prego.
Forgive me. I have a hard time remembering that Italian gibberish.
Da Firenze, the city where I was born.
Ah, yes. So, by your custom, I would be Yusuf Kazim da Istanbul. I like that.
Yusuf here then decides that we should follow him back to the assassin's headquarters, as the other assassins will want to meet us. Once we arrive, however, he is astonished to see we don't have something called a hook blade, so he decides to give us one. This leads us then trying out the new hook blade, and it allows us to grab nearby ledges with ease, incapacitate and make our way past enemies.
I've fallen, and I can't get up!
And lastly climb upwards fast as fuck. As always, however, it wouldn't be an Assassin's Creed game without climbing a massive tower and looking out over the nearby city. But I think us and Yusuf will become good friends. We get a trophy for finishing Sequence 2 and another trophy for finishing Desmond's Sequence 2. We then rejoin Ezio, and Yusuf asks us about recruiting more assassins to our cause, as we need more members to help us hold the city. So we very quickly rush around freeing different prisoners, and several of them decide to join our cause. With these new recruits and other members of the Brotherhood, we are able to defend our assassin dens throughout the city. Here we get a trophy for getting a perfect defense without using the cannon. After that, we then assign one of our recruits to become the den leader for this part of the city.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
After this, we join our assassin recruit in hunting down a traitor to the Order. So we start to clear this part of the city of any Templars, and Yusuf also teaches us how to make bombs. After this, we meet and speak with a bookkeeper called Sofia.
Focus, Conan, to be,
And her shop is located where Niccolo and Maffeo Polo used to own as a trading post, and this is important as these two assassins were given the 5 keys by Altair, so maybe there's one nearby. This is when we managed to find a nearby tunnel in the back of Sofia's bookshop.
Incredibile. Where does it lead?
Why don't we find out?
Who are you, Messere?
Only the most interesting man in your life.
Ah, che presuntuoso.
A presto, Sofia. I will return in a moment.
We then make our way throughout these tunnels while doing our best to stay detected. It's here where we got a trophy for getting 50 kills with the hidden blades. Shortly after this, we managed to open a hidden door deep inside the tomb, and it's here where we managed to grab the first of Altair's 5 keys. This then leads to us making a deal with Sofia. If she deciphers the map that leads to the books, we will let her borrow the books once we are done with them.
Sofia, can you decipher this map? Help me find these books.
Can I borrow them when you are finished?
We will work something out.
Back at the Assassin HQ, we sit down and study the key, and it's here where we return to Masyaf and see the goat in his prime. This flashback is set just before the first game, and here we see another assassin, Abbas, tell us that a traitor has captured Al-Mualim, our leader. So we rush up towards the castle to confront the traitor.
Another step, and your mentor dies.
You will not leave this place alive, traitor.
No, you misunderstand. I am no traitor. for I cannot betray those I never truly loved.
Then you are doubly wretched, for you have been living a lie.
Obviously, because me and Altair know this castle like the back of our hand, we flank and pick off his archers, and this allows us the perfect chance to kill the traitor.
You put too much faith in the hearts of men, Altair. The Templars know the truth. Humans are weak, base, and petty.
No. Our creed is evidence to the contrary.
Perhaps I am not wise enough to understand, but I suspect the opposite. That I am too wise to believe such rubbish.
After saving Al-Mualim, both the master and apprentice talk, and honestly I wish we got more of these two before Al-Mualim turned traitor, as it's some of the best dialogue in any of these games.
Altair, I have watched you grow from a boy to a man in so short a time. It fills me with as much sadness as pride. You fit your father's shoes as if they had been tailored to your feet.
After that, we meet with our recruit and he tells us that some of our assassins have been captured by the traitor, so we need to free them. And we quickly do this by killing every single enemy in sight. But one of our recruits tells us this was a distraction and the traitor is nearby. So it doesn't take us too long to find him and we start to rush after him. But while he flees, we see our recruit is able to take him out.
Peace be with you.
Here we got a trophy for our recruit reaching the rank of Master Assassin, and another one for finishing Sequence 3, and yet another trophy for finishing Desmond's Sequence 3. Next up, we meet with Yusuf again, and he tells us that the Byzantines who work for the Templars are looking to infiltrate the palace and kill Prince Suleiman. So we will join them, as with the prince on our side, he will make a valuable ally. So the plan is to disguise ourselves as minstrels and enter the party. So us and the other assassins race towards the temple. That is until something mad happens.
What in oblivion is that?
After being the first man sent to space, we then beat up the nearby minstrels and take their outfits for our own. With all of us disguised, we will do the distracting while Yusuf and his boys take out anyone we deem to be here to kill the prince. We then approach the nearby guards and get ready to win them over.
I will sing in praise of children. I will croon in praise of
You
dames.
sound like a dying
I will chant
cat.
in praise of mighty men when I recall their names.
Once inside, we have the task of distracting multiple groups while our assassins kill the ones here to kill Suleiman. And soon we see we have already met the prince.
Suleiman, the Sultan's grandson and governor of Kefe, and he's only 17. His uncle, Shehzade Ahmed, the Sultan's favored son. He is grooming himself for the Sultanate as we speak.
We then rush forward and stop him from being killed. And he recognizes us as we spoke on the boat when we first arrived here, and he thanks us for saving his life.
What can I say except you're welcome?
And also asks that we speak to him after. The next morning, he asks us to hide in a nearby tower to listen in on a conversation between his uncle, Prince Ahmed, and the leader of the Janissaries, Tariq. Spying on the meeting, we see that these two fucking hate each other, with Tariq calling Ahmed a little bitch to his face. Suleiman asks us to follow Tariq, as he is the prime suspect right now. After this, we find Sofia is being bothered by a very, very old friend.
Is this man bothering you, Sofia?
Excuse me, Messere, but the lady and I are... Oh, il diavolo in persona! Stay back!
Duccio, a pleasure.
Run, buona donna! Run for your life!
Here, we get a trophy for beating up Duccio. He then asks us to sneak on board a nearby ship and grab a map of hers, as the guards won't let her do it.
2 seconds later.
Once back at her shop, we simply give her the map, and she uses it to figure out where the next book is. After a quick search and some eagle vision, we're able to find the book. This leads us to a nearby tower in the city where the next key is located. As usual, it doesn't take too long for things to go tits up for us, and we find ourselves falling down hundreds of feet to our death. Luckily, however, we use the hook blade and are able to save ourselves from falling the entire way down. This is when we start to parkour and then zipline our way throughout this ravine. This then leads to us grabbing the second of the 5 keys.
Another one.
Just like last time, we take it back to the Assassin HQ to study. This leads to us getting another flashback of Altair just after he killed Al-Mualim. This is where we see him speaking with Abbas and trying to explain how Al-Mualim used the Apple of Eden to mind control everyone. But we see Abbas isn't convinced.
Lies! All your life, you have made a mockery of our creed. You bend the rules to suit your whims, while belittling and humiliating those around you.
Restrain him!
Did you not hear him? Al-Mualim is bewitched.
Ah!
We then just spend the next few minutes reminding these traitorous assassins why Altair became a master assassin at age 24, as we beat the shit out of these guys without any weapons.
Maybe someone's don't like me, but because maybe I'm too good. I don't know why.
Abbas! Stop! What did you think would happen when you murdered our beloved mentor?
You loved Al-Mualim less than anyone! You blamed him for all your misfortune, even your father's suicide.
My father was a hero! Whatever this artifact is capable of, you are not worthy to wield it!
No man is.
It is beautiful, is it not?
We then start to climb the tower quickly before Abbas manages to kill us all by using the apple, and once at the top we take it from him and regain control. We got a trophy for finishing sequence 4 and another trophy for finishing Desmond's sequence 4. In an effort to find Tariq, we begin to ask nearby merchants as his men are stealing all of their goods, and it doesn't take us too long to find a disgruntled merchant to tell us where he is. So as you expect, we start another really fun and interesting tailing mission.
Oh shit, here we go again.
This is when we see him meeting with a Templar and Byzantine called Manuel Paleologos, as Tariq is selling him weapons. And after following Manuel, we find him and a few of his men examining the weapons. So we look inside and see Tariq has sold him rifles. With this knowledge and several guards following us, we use the zip lines to bypass most of them and escape back into the city. We then quickly meet with Sofia and she tells us where another one of the books are. Here we get a trophy for getting our money back from a tax collector. We then very quickly manage to find the next book, and this leads us onto the city where we see several Templar soldiers are also looking for the key. Right, Ezio, we have the element of surprise. We can sneak up and kill them all quickly.
No, I don't think I will.
Because Ezio is a fucking retard at times, this leads us having to chase after this boat. That is until we use a zipline to close the distance. After this, we managed to find the third key of 5. Here we get a trophy for finishing sequence 5 and another trophy for finishing Desmond's sequence 5. As usual, we sit down and quickly study the key. This is when we see a much older Altair and his wife Maria are slightly pissed, as Altair left Masyaf to try and kill Genghis Khan, and they left Malik, Altair's close friend, in charge, but Abbas overthrew Malik and had him killed, as well as one of Altair's sons.
Resist your desire for revenge, Altair. Speak truth and they will see their error.
He executed our youngest son, Maria. He deserves to die.
Yeah, shut up for a second, Maria. Me and Altair want to go down there and kill everybody in sight, not talk to them. Face to face with Abbas, he says he will tell us why he killed our son if we give him the Apple of Eden. So, we plan on giving him the apple.
Before I executed your son, I told him you ordered it yourself. He died believing you had betrayed him.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
Altair!
Just before we can make him kill himself, Maria, being the silly bitch she is, jumps in front of us and gets herself killed. Obviously, Abbas runs for his life while we spend several minutes killing all of his friends. We then dive headfirst out of the window to escape, and after this we meet with our other son Dareem outside the castle and tell him what has happened. Yeah, these guys don't stand a chance at beating Altair and Dareem.
I will have the apple, Altair, and I will have your head for all the dishonor you brought upon my family. You cannot run forever, not from us, and not from your lies.
Back as Ezio, we meet with Suleiman and tell him of Tariq's betrayal. So he decides that the only thing for us to do next is kill Tariq. We got a trophy for poisoning 10 guards at once, and another trophy for killing 5 guards in 5 seconds with the hidden blades. So to get close to Tariq, we had to find and kill one of his janissaries, and once we equipped the disguised, we followed a group of them back to their camp. Once at the camp, we were able to very easily find Tariq, as he kinda does stand out, and once we get our chance, we're simply able to assassinate him.
What a bitter irony. Is this the result of Suleiman's investigation?
You collude with the Sultan's enemies. What did you expect would come of such treachery?
I blame myself. Not for treason, but hubris. I was preparing an ambush. Preparing to strike the Byzantine Templars where they felt safest.
What proof do you have of this?
See, here. This will lead you to the Byzantines in Cappadocia. Destroy them if you can.
You have done well, Tarik. Forgive me.
Protect my homeland, assassin. Allah Ashkila. Redeem the honor we have lost in this fight.
Yeah, killing an innocent man in a camp full of elite guards wasn't the plan, so we run for our fucking lives right now, as if they catch us, they will rip us apart. We then break the news to Suleiman that Tariq was in fact loyal.
Listen, we fucked up.
So we will have to carry out his plan on our own. We got a trophy for having 7 recruits become master assassins. Another trophy for completing all faction challenges. Once again, we meet back with Sofia to see if she has found any more books, but she will only tell us if we do something for her. During this cutscene, we got a trophy for controlling all the cities in Europe with our assassins. Somehow we have ended up picking flowers in an Assassin's Creed game.
Boring! Boring!
But our boy Ezio drops some more Rizz, because being 50 odd isn't going to stop him.
A few inches later.
And then we find the next book, followed shortly after by the 4th of the 5 keys.
Another one.
Once again, we sit down and we get to see what Altair has hidden in the key. And it's here we see a very, very old Altair returning to Masyaf in an attempt to overthrow Abbas. And when some of the assassins here realise who we are, they join us immediately. Even in his old age, Altair still has a few tricks up his sleeves. Closer we get to the castle, however, more and more assassins decide to forsake Abbas and join us.
Altair, 2 decades have passed since we last saw you within these walls. We could use your wisdom. Now more than ever.
Inside the castle, we soon have Abbas on the run.
Tell your men to stand down!
No! I am defending Masyaf! Would you not do the same?
Shut up, bitch!
Using the knowledge from the apple, Altair created a gun and we use it to shoot Abbas.
I can never forgive you, Altair. The lies you told about my family, my father, the humiliation I suffered.
They were not lies, Abbas. I was 10 years old when your father came to see me. He was in tears, begging to be forgiven for betraying my family. Then he cut his own throat. I watched his life ebb away at my feet. I will never forget that image.
No!
But he was not a coward, Abbas. He reclaimed his honor.
I hope there is another life after this one. Then I will see him and know the truth of his final days. And when it is your time, we will find you. And then there will be no doubts.
With 4 of the 5 keys in our possession, we simply need to find the last one. Here we got a trophy for parachuting onto a zipline, another one for collecting Ishak Pasha's memoir pages, and a trophy for completing the Hagia Sophia challenge level. Just as we plan to leave the city to kill Manuel, we meet with our good friend Yusuf. Here he tells us that our ship is leaving soon, but the Janissaries have raised a great chain blocking ships from leaving, so we need to destroy it if we want to leave. But also before we leave, we do ask him to look after Sofia while we are gone, and of course Yusuf agrees to. We then rock up and quickly kill the guards guarding the great chain, and then using some of our bombs we're able to destroy the massive chain. We also kind of destroy a tower and probably kill a load of innocent civilians, but that's not really important.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Then we jump onto the Greek fire turret and we turn this place into the Battle of Blackwater Bay. But with our ship soon leaving, we have to make our way through the flames to reach it, and soon we are able to leap onto our ship.
Yours is not a subtle approach.
See, sorry for the delay.
We got a trophy for finishing sequence 6. Quickly, we jump back to Clay and Desmond, and this has kind of turned into a full-blown therapy session for Desmond at this point, but which you know is probably good for him because his mind's going to be deleted in about half an hour. But enough of that shite. We finally arrive where Manuel and the Byzantines are hiding. Once inside, we see this is a massive city deep underground, which is pretty cool, I can't lie. As always, we climb up towards the high ground, but we do this to try and find Tariq's spy, and using eagle vision we're able to track her down and begin our plan to kill Manuel. Here we got a trophy for collecting all books. Quite literally, after meeting the spy, she went and got herself captured.
Women.
So we start to sneak our way inside to the jail cells to free her. Here we see Manuel and his right-hand man.
What the hell is that spell? Apologies, Manuel. Some of these Ottoman prisoners are so fragile.
Once they leave, we head inside to free the spy, and then we meet her after so we can free her men. This leads us to sneaking around the back and picking off the lone guards, and after that we get into the perfect position to kill Shah Khalou.
Men who make a fetish out of murder deserve no pity.
Holy shit, this guy is a fucking beast. We then start to pick off all of his men one by one, and this leaves us in a 1v1 situation, and this time we finally kill him for good. With all the spies freed, we tell him to run, as we're going to blow up the gunpowder inside the fort, which will panic the entire city. After this, we climb up high again so we can sneak our way inside the fort, and once inside, we easily ignite the gunpowder.
Citizens, soldiers, compose yourselves. Do not give in to fear. Stand fast. Do not let anyone break your... Oh, stop that man! Cut it down!
With Manuel fleeing, we use the hook blade to bypass several guards and then simply jump over the rest of the ones charging towards us. Eventually, we're able to confront Manuel, and he draws his sword.
I should have been Constantine's successor. He had so many plans.
Your dream dies with you, Manuel. Your empire is gone.
But I am not the only one with this vision, assassin. The dream of our order is universal. Ottoman, Byzantine. These are only labels. Costumes and facades. Beneath these trappings, all Templars are part of the same family.
Enough prattling. I am here for the Masyaf key.
Then take it. Take it. And seek your fortune. See if you get within 100 leagues of that library before one of us finishes you off.
It's right after this where Ahmed shows up and reveals he has been working with the Templars this entire time. So he asks us for the keys in exchange for Sofia's life, which we're never going to accept. Right, Ezio? As we try to leave though, we see the city is kind of fucked because of the gunpowder, so we have to rush our way back to the surface. Luckily, however, we make it back to the ship with the last of the 5 keys. This is when we see an incredibly old Altair, and he gives the codex to the brothers Niccolo and Maffeo. And we then escort them to the gates of Masyaf, where Altair drops more of his famous wisdom.
The end of an era. When I was very young, I was foolish enough to believe that our creed would bring an end to all these conflicts. If only I had possessed the humility to say to myself, I have seen enough for one life. I have done my part.
Finally, before they leave, Altair decides to give Niccolo the 5 keys and tells him to hide them, as each one has a message hidden within them. Here we get a trophy for finishing sequence 7. Back as Ezio, we rush inside Sofia's shop looking for her. We find something heartbreaking instead.
You have earned your rest, brother. Requiescat in pace.
Brothers, sisters, the whole city rises against us, while Yusuf's murderer waits and watches from the arsenal, laughing. Fight with me, and show him what it means to cross the assassins.
That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
This is when every assassin marches to avenge Yusuf. We then confront Ahmed, but because he has Sofia hostage, Ezio refuses to kill him. He then says in exchange for the keys, he will free Sofia. It's at this time where Prince Suleiman reveals himself and says that he heard his uncle is a traitor and a Templar, but he asks us to stop him and spare him if we can.
What a challenge it would be to have a son like you.
You are not dead yet, old friend.
Here we got a trophy for killing 5 guards while using a smoke bomb. Back at the Assassin's headquarters, we quickly gather all 5 of the keys. After this, we confront Ahmed and he immediately tries to have us killed. But we aren't stupid enough to come alone and our assassins back us up. This is when he shows us Sofia atop the tower and we are pressured into giving him the keys to save her life. So, like a man possessed, Ezio rushes up the tower. But once at the top, we see it was a decoy and the real Sofia is literally being hung from a tree.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
With no time to waste, we fling ourselves off the top of the tower and use the parachute, and luckily we are able to cut her down before she is killed. This then leads to yet another carriage chase. Fuck, I absolutely hate these types of missions, but things don't go well for us. Sofia is nearly flung off the carriage. Ezio is launched underneath the carriage again and is only able to stay on by grabbing onto a rope for the 2nd time. And he then uses a parachute once again to invent parasailing. So we quickly swoop down and kill any riders who are pursuing Sofia, and then we have to play a game of dodge the fucking building to not get flattened. Finally, however, we are able to land and jump off a hill and tackle Ahmet. This then leads to the carriage getting flung off the side of the cliff. We then both just take this time to beat the absolute shit out of each other as we fall, but once again the parachute saves us and, unfortunately, Ahmet. Thankfully, we recovered quicker and are able to grab the keys before he does, but soon Suleiman's father shows up and, well, let's just say he isn't a fan of his brother's treachery.
I am Selim, Suleiman's father. He speaks quite highly of you.
He is a remarkable boy with a magnificent mind.
Were it not for his endorsement, I would have you killed where you stand. Leave this place. Do not return.
It's at this moment where the Animus tries to delete Desmond, but thankfully Clay knows what's about to happen. So he takes one for the team and pushes us into a nearby portal, saving us from being deleted. Here we got a trophy for finishing sequence 8. This is when Ezio and Sofia finally make it to Masyaf, and once inside we show her the door. I then spend way too long trying to figure out this puzzle because my mind was cooked at this stage, I can't lie.
I'm kind of retarded.
But we did manage it in the end, and we enter Altair's secret library.
No books. No wisdom. Just you, fratello mio. Requiescat in pace, Altair.
Inside, we grab the last of his keys with one last hidden message. This shows us an older Dareem and an extremely old Altair speaking for the last time as Masyaf has been evacuated due to the Mongol threat.
Go, son. Go be with your family. And live well.
All that is good in me began with you, Father.
We then watch as the greatest assassin hides away the Apple of Eden, and we then watch his last moments as he sits down with the final key. It's here though where Ezio refuses to take the apple, but the apple activates, allowing Ezio to speak and see Desmond.
I heard your name once before, Desmond. A long time ago. And now it lingers in my mind, like an image from an old dream. I do not know where you are, or by what means you can hear me. But I know you are listening. I have lived my life as best I could, not knowing its purpose, but drawn forward like a moth to a distant moon. And here at last, I discover a strange truth. That I am only a conduit for a message that eludes my understanding. Who are we, who have been so blessed, to share our stories like this? To speak across centuries? Maybe you will answer all the questions I have asked. Maybe you will be the one to make all this suffering worth something in the end. Now, listen.
Here we get a trophy for achieving 100% synchronization. Because Ezio touched Desmond, the apple then allows Desmond to speak with Jupiter, one of the Isu, and he reveals that the Isu created multiple temples around the globe to try and research different ways to stop the world ending, with each temple trying a different way to save the world. Here he then shows us a vision of the first civilization getting wiped out and destroyed by the sun. But he also shows us the location of the Grand Temple, which is our last chance to stop the world from ending. After this, Desmond wakes up surrounded by his father and both Rebecca and Sean outside the Grand Temple. Here we get a trophy for finishing sequence 9. As with all Assassin's Creed games, there's always a bit of cleanup to do, as There is a lot of miscellaneous trophies that you can't really go for until the game's completed, so let's get them out of the way first. Firstly, we got a trophy for climbing the Hagia Sophia in under 25 seconds. Another one for looting 50 guards by using the thieves. Trophy for finding all 100 animus fragments. And the trophy for killing 5 guards with scaffolding while they are stunned by caltrops. After this, we got a trophy for completing all bomb missions. And here we got a trophy for getting 3 kills at once with the throwing knives. After a lot of time, we finally got the trophy for crafting 30 bombs. And lastly, a trophy for having a guard kill 3 civilians while he's poisoned. It was at this moment where we had to start the Lost Archive DLC, and honestly, this is the worst fucking DLC I've ever played. Whoever made this needs locked up for life. So don't expect me to cover this DLC at all. It really would just be a waste of both of our times. Here we got a trophy for completing the first memory in the DLC. Seriously, even watching this back is annoying me because of how many hours I wasted doing this shit. But we got a trophy for falling 25 meters and saving ourselves with a block. Moments like this are great, however, as we see Clay's funeral, even though we're technically playing as Clay and these are his memories, which he's seeing, but this whole DLC is confusing. Here we got a trophy for completing a leap of faith and another trophy for entering the Animus in the DLC, and yet another trophy for finishing Memory 5. It's here where probably the only great moment of this DLC is revealed, and here we learn why Juno made Desmond stab Lucy in the last game.
We'll lead you to the apple, and then you bring it right to us. We're counting on you, Lucy. You have served the Templar Order well, and we never forget loyalty. Oh, yes. Once inside their hideout, perhaps you might ask the assassins why they left you alone for so many years.
Here we got a trophy for finding all fragments, and another one for experiencing the loop. We then got a trophy for finishing the test level without dying, and another one for crossing the River Styx without dying. And lastly, for the DLC trophies, we got a trophy for breaking the loop. We then got our last main trophy for parachuting off the Galata Tower, and with this we earned the platinum for Assassin's Creed Revelations. So everyone, that was the platinum trophy for Assassin's Creed Revelations, and the end of our trilogy with Ezio, and what a trilogy it was. From a young man who roamed the streets of Florence to a master assassin and mentor of the entire Brotherhood, it has been a brilliant story to follow. But Ezio's story may be over, but Desmond's will be wrapped up in the next game, Assassin's Creed 3. Now usually I'd say I'd see you all in the next one, but for the end of this video, I decided to add the last speech of Ezio Auditore.
When I was a young man, I had liberty, but I did not see it. I had time, but I did not know it. And I had love, but I did not feel it. Many decades would pass before I understood the meaning of all three. And now, in the twilight of my life, this understanding has passed into contentment. Love, liberty, and time, once so disposable, are the fuels that drive me forward. And love, most especially, mio caro. For you, our children, our brothers and sisters, and for the vast and wonderful world that gave us life and keeps us guessing. Endless affection, mio Sofia. Forever yours, Ezio Auditore.